The Tissot Superpole Race at the 2024 Prosecco DOC UK round gets underway. Better start this time from Nicolo Bulliga, but look at the riders from the second row of the grid, particularly Dominic Egerter on the number 77 bike there on the inside line, trying to make progress. Scott Redding has lost ground, but so has Toprak Razgatlioglu, and it's Nicolo Bulliga. I said a much better start for him this time around, who leads them, making his way through the opening sector. Decent jump further back as well from Jonathan Ray. He's up into third position now, carving his way through at the old hairpin on Sam Lowes to push him down to fourth place. So it's Bulliga who leads, Razgatlioglu second, Ray in third now ahead of Sam Lowes. Then it's Dominic Egerter, Andrea Locatelli in sixth, and I might have cursed Scott Redding there because I said he was the man to watch on the opening few turns, and he's actually dropped down to seventh place. Alex Lowes through on Michael van der Mark, that's for 8th position, so Lowes continuing his early progress.
Critical for Lowes there with that zero tyre to get through on van der Mark. He needs to make this progress because he wants to give himself the chance of being able to fight for a top 5 for the grid position for race 2.
This is super from Jonathan Ray, up in third position.
Someone's ran off. It looked like Bassani off at the old hairpin.
Bassani tumbling down the order right to the back of the field as we watch the leaders here. Dominic Egerter currently sitting in 7th place ahead of Alex Lowes. Michael van der Mark, the last of the points-paying positions, with Alvaro Bautista still behind him. The top 3 have stretched an advantage now over Sam Lowes. 0.8 of a second, the gap to 4th position. And this is where your group is from 4th place down. Lowes, Locatelli, Redding, Egerter, Lowes and van der Mark all covered by less than a second.
Yeah, we saw in yesterday's race with that full tank, Sam Lowes on the number 14 machine was struggling in the early stages, blacked up the rest of the field. That's Dominic Egerter's ran off.
Alvaro Bautista had just made his pass to get up into the points-paying positions, so it's 2 for 1 for Alvaro Bautista.
It looked like it was Alex Lowes getting down the inside into the S's and Domi having to stand that bike up.
Best opportunity for a podium that Jonathan Ray has yet had with Yamaha. Main threat might well be his Yamaha teammate Andrea Locatelli, who sits in 5th position, but the gap in front of Sam Lowes is over a second. Locatelli needs to clear him quickly. There's
no threat for Jonathan Ray right now. Ray's pace has been all right this weekend. You can see he's actually closing up onto the back and top rack as well right now. He's been able to bridge some of that gap, but the big thing for him is he's opened the gap to Sam Lowes.
Second half of the lap is where Toprak Razgatlioglu is at his strongest. He's got the gap to Nicolo Bulliga down to less than 1/10 of a second, then nose to tail as they come down the Dunlop straight on lap number 3. Razgatlioglu unbeaten in 5 consecutive races. Nicolo Bulliga hasn't been a race winner since the opening race of the season at Phillip Island in February, and boy has he got a tiger on his tail in Toprak Razgatlioglu, and it's going to be as early as lap 3, down the inside into the Melbourne hairpin and straight forward on the brakes at Toprak's favourite corner of the season.
Yeah, and for Toprak it's an easy move for him to make into that corner. You can see there he's pushing on the run in towards Goddard, but look at how he can still collect it, hold his line through that last corner.
Nicolo Bulliga already 0.7 of a second behind him, so we are watching a race for 4th position from here on in.
Yeah, and for Jonathan Ray, 26.6 last time around, about a half a second slower than Nicolo Bulliga, but 1/3 of a second faster than the riders chasing him down. Exactly what Ray needs here at Donington Park.
Locatelli going down the inside of Sam Lowes, forces the issue into the old hairpin, so Locatelli is going to break the cork out of that bottle. Now we'll find out whether Scott Redding can get through on Sam Lowes to keep up his so far unsuccessful pursuit of Andrea Locatelli. Locatelli bursting clear. He'll hope that Sam Lowes holds back the rest of the pack so that he can escape away.
Yeah, and you can see for Locke, he's been able to pull out 4 or 5 bike lengths there in a couple of corners, and Lowes taking that tighter line because Locke's gone wide.
Sam Lowes comes through, Scott Redding comes through, an opportunity for Alex Lowes as well, and he's going to sweep across to the inside line. Locatelli's going to hang on in there. Watch for Bautista. 3 abreast doesn't work into the Fogarty S's. Bautista has to back out of it. Lowes has got the cut back. Down the hill, he'll outbreak Andrea Locatelli, and that's going to be through for 6th position for Alex Lowes. But watch for Bautista. His opportunity to pass 2 in one go. Locatelli runs deep. Lowes will have the cut back. Coming through now, Gardner as well into the mix. These are all for points-paying positions, of course. Sam Lowes somehow has managed to wrestle control once again of that 4th position. It's Scott Redding on his tail. A bit of a gap now to Alvaro Bautista, but that lap 5 has worked perfectly in favour of the reigning world champion. Real opportunity for Bautista to make progress at a swifter rate, but not if Alex Lowes has anything to say about it. He's through at the old hairpin. Bautista, we know, the acceleration on that Ducati recovers, but Lowes with the racing line. This is the best of what you can see at Donington Park. 2 racing lines all the way around the opening 2 sectors here. Bautista has to give best to the mastery at Donington Park of the home man, Alex Lowes. The twins haven't had too many opportunities to race one another through their careers, but this is going to be another. It's not going to be much of a race in the end because Alex Lowes is the man with the pace advantage, picks off Sam going through turn 4, and he's not going to have to run the opening 2 sectors side by side with another rider this time around. Alvaro Bautista next in line to have an attack on Sam Lowes, and moves Lowes out of the way. Unceremonious the riders are being with the former Moto2 man this weekend in Donington Park, and in fact Sam Lowes has now lost another position with Locatelli coming through for 7. And Sam Lowes' tumble through the field continues into the Fogarty S's on lap 7. Remy Gardner comes through. Now, he did go across the curb on the exit. The position ceded back to Sam Lowes, but Gardner's clearly got the pace advantage. Gardner's teammate now, GRT teammate, Dominic Egerter coming through on the inside. This is for 9th position. This is a place on the 3rd row of the grid for race 2 this afternoon. And for riders coming from outside of the top 9 in this race, both of them, it's an important one. Egerter to try and hold on to a good grid slot. He's run wide there off the final turn. Remy Gardner the opportunity to gain a place on the grid for race 2 this afternoon, moves back into 9th.
Nothing wrong with that from Remy Gardner, trying to get himself down the inside, but it was a foot off the peg for Tommy Aguilar, costing the momentum onto the start-finish straight, and Danilo Petrucci able to come through.
Remember how strong Danilo Petrucci was over the long races here at Donington Park last season. He is trying to move up from an initial grid position, remember, all the way down in 13th on the 5th row, as Gardner, over-opportunistic there, tries to make his pass on Lowes. He's going to run off the circuit altogether, and Petrucci now up into the points-paying positions.
Big slide as well through Schwantz, and Lowes just pulling back that bike length here, bike length there. Difficult to make the move into the S's for Lowes, but maybe down into the Melbourne Loop, but he needs to be really good on the change direction turn line in 10 to set that up.
We did see Scott Redding vulnerable on a couple of occasions into the final 2 turns yesterday afternoon as he tumbled back to 5th. Of course, a mechanical retirement ultimately costing him that top 5 finish. He looked good for 1 here, but will it be 4th or will it be 5th? Alex Lowes could do with the extra points, of course, in the context of his World Championship pursuit of a medal position this season. Lowes has got the run coming off turn 10. Final opportunity, perhaps. Redding goes to the middle of the track. Alex Lowes doesn't know which way to go. He's going to go for the cutback. It's going to have to be at the final turn then for Alex Lowes. This for 4th position. Bautista waiting in the wings in case it all goes wrong. 7/10 of a second further in arrears. Toprak Razgatlioglu makes it 6 wins in a row in WorldSBK. Nicolo Bulliger over the line in 2nd, and Jonathan Ray wheelies across the line for his first podium finish with Yamaha. Scott Redding holds on for 4th ahead of Alex Lowes by 2/10 of a second. Bautista can only manage 6th, all that he could manage over 10 laps in race 1 yesterday as well. I'm sure there's more to come from Bautista in the second half of race 2.
Superpole Trophy in the 12 World Championship points. The Superpole Race.